I asked a guy in the sauna at the East Bank Club this week, what's the worst thing that ever happened to you? And he was a young guy, and he said actually breaking up with his girlfriend in the middle of an apartment lease they shared together was the worst thing. He said it got very uncomfortable very, very fast. He said she and her friends made life a living hell for him, and it seemed like they didn't want to just get rid of him, they wanted to kill his soul. After this guy told me this story, I leaned forward to see if I could make out the gold pendant he had hanging around his neck. And I said, "Are you a Christian guy or a Jewish guy?" He said he was Jewish. And I said, "Well, whatever you are, the fact that you got out of there with your soul intact shows that the Lord is truly with you." Welcome to Sunday Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. At Sunday Coffee Hour, we talk about everything and nothing. This week, we talked about TikTok and wildings, having a curfew, and how there's no such thing as being a spectator in a mob. The readings at Washington National Cathedral were from Acts. You executed him outside the bounds of the law. And from Peter, those who have seen and don't believe, and those who have not seen yet believe. The gospel reading was from John. Peace be with you. We are tested by fire for the salvation of our soul. The sermon at Washington National Cathedral was by Patrick Kaiser. He said that the statement, "We have seen the Lord," is not a theological claim, it's an encounter. And we encounter God in both the good times and the bad times. Theological doctrine is actually like a recipe. You have to actually bake the cake before you can think about putting on the frosting. At St. James, the sermon was about having our resurrection body, scars and all. We can't be all who we are without our wounds and our injuries. They shape and define us. Perhaps it's part of our human nature to both love and use people. We see that in stage plots over and over again in Shakespeare and in literature and in a lot of dramatic plays. It's the tension between our objective and subjective realities. And we all like a little drama. And it can be life reaffirming when it confirms who we are, both for good and for bad, especially when it's presented with a little poise, elegance, and style. But without humility, it can all seem very, very shrill and drain our souls. Before I asked the guy in the sauna about what's the worst thing that ever happened to him, someone else had asked, "What would you do if you only had 3 hours left to live?" I said, "Well, that's an easy answer. I'd come to the East Bank Club for one more workout and order dinner. Even if I didn't have time to actually eat the dinner, at least I'd die knowing that the best was yet to come." This Sunday, we learned that our clunker pastor was leaving for a new church home in Atlanta. No one called us from Black Mountain to warn us that they were sending a psychopath our way, but I'm thinking of calling Central Presbyterian of Atlanta to alert them. Perhaps we are defined by our wounds, injuries, and scars, but if you can spare someone else pain and suffering, then I believe we're called to do so. I'm not sure if I'll actually be calling First Central of Atlanta, but in the old days, we used to have the convention of calling collect and reversing the charges. But no one should have to pay, especially when it's a wrong number. If you would like to join us at Sunday Coffee Hour is every Sunday at 12 noon Central Time on Zoom. I will include my email in the description of this video. I'll be happy to send you an invitation. And I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.